Hey guys, it's Kazi here, and we're going to be talking about the upcoming TOPPO celebration today. So, pretty much today is the official last day of the 9th year anniversary on Global Dokkan, and I just want to say it has been an absolutely fantastic 9th year celebration. I loved every single part of it. I loved all the extra stuff that we got as well with the Ultra Impact campaign coming in at the final week and a half. And yeah, it's just been perfect. So want to go ahead and just say that we can expect to see TOPPO. I'm recording this on August 11th at roughly 7 o'clock in the morning, so we can expect to see him in about 24-ish to 48 hours, realistically. Meaning that he's going to be coming out for most people on the 12th of August, very very late, or the 13th of August, very very early. We'll get better timestamps for that once we get the actual data download, but for right now it's just a rough estimate. Within the next 48 hours roughly is when we should see TOPPO on Global Dokkan. With the event going away and then basically telling us, hey, this is what's coming up next, we also have a couple of new stages teased. So of course we have the generic Extreme Super Battle Road and Super Battle Road. Then of course we have the new Ultimate Clash that's coming. And then we also got this a couple of days ago. It's just new area for the Dokkan Quest that's coming. Literally free stones. I'm actually not aware if any of these new events coming are good for link leveling, but once I do find out, I will be letting you guys know. But the main thing I want to go ahead and focus on is, of course, the TOPPO banner, but we'll get to that in a second. But behold, support memory boost. So this is always good. So basically, you get a new stage, you complete missions, complete all those missions, you juice up a support memory. It's just an easy for a support memory. I recommend everybody do it. It's going to be coming, like I said, within the next 48 hours, basically when the TOPPO celebration hits. So yeah, that's really, really cool. Let's go ahead and talk about TOPPO a little bit. It's going to be a pretty quick video. So we've spoken about TOPPO previously, but we haven't really gone into depth about what exactly this guy does and what makes him so powerful. So he's going to be running special pose and tournament participants for 170 key 3. And then he's going to get an additional attack and defense plus 30 for people who are also in Ally of Justice, Space Traveling Warriors, and Last Resort or Final Trump card on Global. Activates entrance animation. So this is also, I'm going to point this out, this is kind of what makes him limited in a way. So you're going to need 2 or more special pose or Ally of Justice category allies on the team in order to get pretty much 11% damage reduction and guards all attacks for 3 turns. So that's really, really, really powerful right there. That guards all attack for 3 turns, and then the additional 11% damage reduction. He has a little bit in the kit, but we'll talk about that in a second. But you need to have 2 or more special pose, which one can easily be LR JIREN, the AGL one, whenever he does come out on Global, which is more than likely going to be in the part 2 of the celebration. And then you could run the full power JIREN as well, but as we've spoken in previous videos, he's not exactly the greatest unit. But we have the EZA for the Int TOPPO and Pride Troopers coming out, so that's probably what they're really hoping that we'll do with this. Like, we'll run the Int Pride Troopers TOPPO, and then we'll run what do you call it, the AGL JIREN whenever he does come out, and then boom, that's 3, and then you can activate it. But like, we really do need a really, really solid other special pose or Ally of Justice category. Of course, I'm speaking more so along the lines of running this guy like on a Super Bosses team, because he is on Super Bosses. It's significantly easier to actually get this if you're running like a full special pose team or a full tournament of a participants team, but it's very, very difficult to get this going on the special bosses or the Super Bosses team, because like I said, you don't really want to run that tech full power during some of these hard events. Attack and defense 200 plus an additional attack 150 when performing super attack. You always like to see that. That means he's going to be dropping some decent damage. Just damage reduction for 20%. Really, really good. This alone is not enough, really. In combination with guard and then, the additional 11% that he gets, this actually can be really, really good. Changes Ink Key Spears to Rainbow Key Spears. If HP is 50% or more to start a turn, very, very good. Special pose and Allied Justice categories, keep +1 attack and defense 30. That's just really good to have in general for some of these Dokkan Fests. Like, we love to see support Dokkan Fest units. A lot of these Dokkan Fests, and especially Dokkan Fest LRs, they don't really lean towards support. They always just boom, 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 damage, 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 defense, defense, defense. But they don't really help their team out in a way. It's normally the yellow coins, and then of course now the carnivals coming in that are really taking that more supportive role from the DOKKANFEST LRs, which is really what we want to see. We want to see more cards that just have like all of this can hold its own. Oh yeah, and by the way, we'll juice this category up a little bit. Like the category is already pretty bad, so we'll have the leader be the support. Really, really good. Plus an additional defense 200% and guards all attacks within the same turn. Defense plus 50% after receiving an attack as the first attacker in a turn, meaning that he'll get guard if he's in the first slot, as we spoke previously. If he has 2 or more special opposer ally justice category allies, he will just guard all attacks for 3 turns. Meaning that you could put this, if you have his entrance animation activated, you can put him in any slot and he'll guard all attacks. If you don't, he's only going to be guarding in the first slot. So yeah, that's something to really, really keep in mind. Yes, of course, he does get a ridiculous amount of defense once he gets hit too, as the first attacker, but you really want this guy to be like, not necessarily holding down the first slot, but as he ages, you would like it to be to where he could hold down like the second or third slot. Like you don't want him just to be locked in, boom, first slot every single time that you play him, because over time, we've seen cards that have to be locked in the first slot get absolutely eviscerated as time goes on because they don't have the stats to back up some of these new harder bosses. Plus an additional attack and defense 100 when performing super attack as the second or third attacker. Boom. There's an incentive to run him in the first, second, or third slot. Obviously, there's a much better incentive to run him in the first slot, but like I said, as time goes by, he's going to age fairly. I wouldn't say poorly this guy's going to age because he is ridiculously powerful right now. But in general, that's just typically how cards are. It could take him a year. It could take him 2 to 3, maybe even 4 years. He probably might even still be good before he gets to EZA. Or good meaning serviceable. Oh, I didn't even point out his active skill. So it can be activated starting from the 4th turn from the start of battle when there's a special pose or ally of justice category ally attacking in the same turn, or just 6th turn from the start of battle. 6th turn from the start of battle is very, very long, but it's also very, very good. I say this because eventually you probably aren't going to be running him with one of these. I mean, as long as LR JIREN stays, valuable, which he will, I'm pretty sure long past this TOPPO's lifespan, you're going to be at least running one person, right? One person. And the LR JIREN is probably going to be TOPPO's like best friend. While TOPPO might not be LR JIREN's best friend, it'll definitely be very, very good to run them together. Like I said, we don't even know when LR JIREN is coming out, but hopefully it's sometime soon. Go ahead and hop into the second form. Okay, so once he transforms, he's kind of him. Let's keep it 100. So keep those 3 attack and defense. 300 massively raise attack and just normal raise defense for 1 turn. Additional attack when look at that attack when attacking, great. And then defense when receiving an attack, also pretty solid. Changes int key spirits to rainbow, just no HP restriction at all. That's great. Just guards, perfect to see. Just guards, no conditions at all. No 1, 2, 3 turns. Boom, just guards. Reduces damage received by 80%. So he's just him. He comes out and he hits the field and he's ready. Damage reduction rate -8 with each attack received no more than -60. So I mean, bare minimum, guys. Guards all attacks. Attack and defense, or damage reduction 20% after he's already taken a whole bunch of attacks. Like that's probably going to take him like 2 turns to really get down to that -60% damage reduction. Nullifies key blast super attacks directed at the character, and for the next turn onward, high chance of nullifying key blast super attacks directed at the character. Great to just have a nullification, just literally to have it. He's already very, very defensively as is, and it's just great to, like I said, have that in the back pocket just on the off chance that it actually hits. Massive raises attack temporarily, causes ultimate damage. All attacks become critical hits for the rest of battle. I've seen a lot of JP players who actually did skip TOPPO's initial banner, and when he came back on the Master Roshi banner, they ended up pulling him and they started playing with him. And I think I think pretty much everybody agrees that, or everybody that pulled him on the Master Roshi banner that originally skipped him because they didn't think he was good, they all pretty much unanimously agree like this guy is him. Like he is very, very, very competitive. He is very, very good. And I'm not going to say a lot of it has to do with that all attacks becoming crits, but it's just that when this form of TOPPO comes out, it really does feel like the game is kind of over. Because in a lot of situations, this guy's going to be not your best card, he's going to be somewhere in the middle. And when your middle cards start competing, like some of your best cards, and some of your best cards start falling off because of, entry animation conditions, etc., this guy is here pretty much to hold down the fort while you get your other guys into the conditions that they need to become either their final form, like UI Goku going into his domain, and other transform conditions, etc. Like, this guy is here to hold down the fort. So it's just very, very, very nice to see all the JP players coming up and basically saying, like, yeah, guys, we were pretty wrong. Like, obviously, we're not mad that we skipped it initially. It just sucks that we kind of underrated this guy in terms of his power, because, I mean, when we're reading his kit, he doesn't sound like ridiculously crazy. Like, the only line that's like very ridiculously crazy is, of course, all attacks become critical hits from the rest of the battle, and then the 80% damage reduction with the guards all attacks indefinitely right here. Like, these three lines are very, very crazy, but we're missing out on, like, look at all this. Attack 250, crazy. Defense 100, 300 base. Like, we're even in first form, if we're just talking about first form, just having this with this and then the guards for 3 attacks are just guarding in the first slot period, and then look at that, defense 200 and then another defense plus 50, and then on super attack on the second and third, boom, you're getting more attack and defense. Like, this guy can get very, very out of hand very, very quickly. And like I said, with these stat based cards, they do tend to age out, a little bit worse than some of these cards that just have things like flat crazy damage reduction, infinite guard, crazy stacking, and things along those lines. But this guy, he's got a little bit of it all. Like, obviously he's not Beast Gohan level, but when he comes out for like really 2 turns, like, he's kind of not like Broly in the sense that he's gonna be dropping crazy damage, which he will be. He's kind of like Broly in the sense that when LR AGL Broly transforms and gets his domain, for those 2 turns that you have, well, it's 4, but for those 2 appearances that you have him, he's him. Like, he is going to do exactly what you want him. In Broly's case, it's damage, and this guy's case is defense. Like I said, it's probably going to take you 2 turns to even get down to minus 60 damage reduction, and even then, you still indefinitely guard. You still have base 20% damage reduction. You're still getting all this defense as soon as you get slapped up. Like, it's just very, very out of hand. It can get very out of hand very, very quickly. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much going to be it for the video. Like I said, we should be expecting to see this guy within the next 24 to 48 hours. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'm going to try to get as many videos out as possible when his event does come out. And of course, I'll be dropping another video once the data download hits. That way we know exactly what is coming with this celebration, because, I mean, right now it's looking pretty bare, right? Like, Super Battle Road, ESBR, an EZA for a support memory. Of course, the Dokkan Fest banner, and then, of course, the Dokkan event. So 2 stones right there, but like, this is just like nothing. And then, the Ultimate Clash, we get that every month. It's looking very, very bare. But like I said, I'll drop a video again when we see the full celebration details. But yeah, guys, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you all later.